listening, ma.
Okay. So I said that you would not agree with me that the climate is now changing, should I say rapidly or in ways we don't understand over the years. That by this time, as at when I was growing up, when I was still a child, this time of the year is always very cold till like towards January, February. And then now we see that even in December, it was still raining and the sun is up there in the sky, right? So sometimes farmers that they've been dealing with the old climate system, they will now find it difficult to thrive in this new one. And that is why that ends the need for this webinar, to educate farmers on what to do when there is climate change, especially the ones that we don't even understand, right? Whether you are growing vegetables in your backyard or managing a commercial farm, this webinar will help you to build resilience, boost yields, and nourish your community. Now, the objective for this webinar is for us to understand the principles and practices of climate-smart agriculture. Now, then you learn how to improve food security and nutrition through sustainable farming, discover low-cost, high-impact techniques for adapting to climate variability. Like I said, now that the climate is just changing rapidly, we need to know how to go about it and discover it at a low cost, because most of us are not even getting funds from the government. We are not getting help from the government or any partners. So we need to know how we can do it with the little we have, with what we can afford, right? Also, explore opportunities for scaling climate resilient agribusinesses. Connect with like-minded growers and professionals across Nigeria and beyond. Now, what you will learn in this webinar: climate smart farming techniques tailored to Nigeria's agroecological zone. Then you learn how to enhance food security at household and community levels while understanding climate smart farming. Let's not forget that. Strategies to improve nutrition through diversified crop productions. Way to adapt your garden or farm to unpredictable weather patterns. Insights into sustainable agribusiness models and value chains. Tools for integrating climate resilience into everyday agricultural practices. Then our speaker, our amiable speaker for today is Mr. Samuel Akinyode. He is a food system specialist. Mr. Akinyode. Is Mr. Samuel there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, please. We are ready for you. Please introduce yourself to everyone and.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Samuel Akinyode, as rightly said. Okay, I'm the speaker for today and for this particular webinar on climate smart agriculture. And we would be having a lot of discussion even as regards climate smart agriculture. And it's not just going to be for the farmers, it's also going to be for intending farmers also that would want to go into agriculture, probably in large scale or in also small scale or also home gardening. So please, while we would continue this particular one, I think just having much kind of knowledge even as regards, not like we always say that agric is a very, very old time work, means that even before I was born, that particular work has always been done. But also I've been able to go through the almost entire ecosystem of the food system, working in several areas where we also now have, even as now, they've been able to consult for several farms, to set up also several farms also. I've been able to work in several areas too. So that is what we have on board today. So join me even as we together move in this particular direction on climate smart agriculture. Thank you, Rita. So just tell me if I'm to start up.
I hope everybody understands the reason why this topic is very, very necessary for farming.
Okay.
Please, I want to hear your responses, please. So I know that I'm not talking to myself.
Okay, we can see them. Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. We can see.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, please start, sir.
Okay, please kindly share my screen. Share your screen so that we could begin.
All right, sir.
Okay, so once again, thank you very much for joining our webinar on climate and smart agriculture. We will try to see how we can compress a whole lot of things that will be discussed just in 1 hour, coupled with questions and answers and the rest like that. So please just stay with us. And if you have other persons again that you feel are your colleagues that you know that should be part of this particular one, please, you can do well to send the link to them so that we have a very, very robust discussion as regards this particular topic. So the topic that we're talking about is climate smart and agriculture, and I'm sure that you've heard from Ms. Rita when she talked even about the objectives of the topic. So we will just be going straight into what we want to talk about. So the next slide. So for the next slide, we will be seeing what we'll be talking about, the agenda for this. We'll be classifying everything just in don't mind the timing that is there. It's just for proper timing, but we will try to see how we will compress everything even so we can have much more time for question and answer. So, but first of all, we'll try to understand what climate smart agriculture is. Then we'll also look at water smart techniques. We'll look at soil and plant management. We'll look at smart farming when you want to go into your home gardening. Then we'll look at smart climate resilient practices. Then we go fast into the question and answer. So it's going to be a very, very robust timing today. So we can put a lot of experience, several years of experience into this particular subject area. So very fast, I want us to probably go into the comment box and just type in what you are saying there. So how many of you have noticed that farming or gardening has become harder in the past 5 years? So now when I talk about harder, I mean in the terms of climate change. How many of you have seen a kind of climate pattern like in your area probably in the last 5 years now? Now let me see in the comment section if we have anybody that have noticed that probably in the last 5 years. Have you noticed anything, if it is yes or if it is no? Have you seen any changes of how rain falls in the last 5 years? That in short, you see in your, like in some areas that there used to be a kind of heavy rainfall. I'm so sure even that certain times that we also even know we will be hearing of that 7 days straight rain. We have always been hearing that before, but nowadays we hardly hear something like that. Okay, I've seen one person here. Thank you very much. So we move even to the next down to the next slide. So climate change, when you see the pictures even on the slide room, you'll see that it's showing two different patterns. It's showing two different patterns, which is the first one, which is showing the one that is what we used to know before. That's for some of us that probably are always entering into farms. Well, now you'll be able to see, okay, are these things the way it used to be before? Now you see the way it is now some places. So you start wondering, but how come now? How are things like this and the rest like that? So that is why we are trying to discuss what this particular topic today, because yeah, it's kind of funny what you used to see before, greens almost everywhere, to where we are now seeing browns now. So next slide, please. So we would just be talking about this climate impact on Nigeria and agriculture, where you can see where you can see that the crop loss, in short, has gone so high, even to about 40% crop losses. Just some farmers in the house can testify to such kind of figures, even without you have tried even all you could. In short, there are now several arguments between farmers and those that not kind of them. We now see so many of them arguing on what happens. So you now see farmer income loss was now kind of dropped to a kind of open 30%, because by the time you are kind of expecting rain and it's not there, then that's going to affect your own income too. Then you now see food prices spikes going up that way. Now, I'm sure that some of you will be saying, but prices are now coming down now in Nigeria. So that is just thank God even for this government, for probably through the pressures that they've gotten to open borders for so many farmers to bring in from neighboring countries to bring in their product into Nigeria. And that's also affected a lot of farmers in the house, that in short, all what you have produced, you have spent a lot of money to produce, using high cost of product. Now you now have them in a kind of way that is not really there. So we have high cost. That was one of the major reasons. So we can move again. So next slide, please. So we have to now look at increase in productivity. So what is climate smart agriculture? It's just a simple term. Climate smart agriculture is an holistic approach to managing landscapes to address the interconnected challenges of food security and climate change. So we are just trying to see how we can address the effects and impact of climate change in agriculture. So what we want to really achieve is just to see how we can increase productivity, and that is where we'll be having more food, more income for farmers. So this is what climate smart agriculture wants to achieve. Also, how to build farms to survive climate shocks and extreme weather. In short, there are times that you need some things to be done, but by the time there is no rain, you are going nowhere. Then also to minimize the agricultural contribution to climate change, we have a lot of emission even going up, and so this is what we are trying to solve with climate smart agriculture. We are trying to see how we could work with the climate change. Things are changing, yes, we know that, but also what can we do to work with it, not to work also kind of against it. So what are the problems? We have seen what are the problems. We have been able to see that there are 40% crop losses. I've said that before. So there have been problems even in the place of crop loss, in place of income generation. We have seen lots of problems in all these. Then what are we now trying to now profile with this climate smart agriculture? Is that yes, by the time farmers now start engaging climate smart agriculture, we'll now start seeing yield. We'll be seeing better income. We'll be seeing lower production costs. Now, so these are the things that we are trying to see, where you can move from this first picture where the problem is to where you now be seeing the second picture of what the solution is. Next slide, please. So let's move straight. So we can move straight even into module 1. So module 1. So for the first part of it, we're talking about our water smart technique. So now for this aspect, I want us to just imagine in our minds that you are all farmers. Imagine in your mind that you have even a kind of crop you have already planted, and now rain is not falling. Now you cannot predict when rain will fall next. In short, I've been in farms several times that at the time I was farming orange red sweet potato in a particular region in Ogun State. While I was there farming, in short, while I'm going to the farm, I'll call that rain is falling. By the time I move from my place to the particular farm, rain has not dropped there for several weeks. And I'll be like, but rain just fell where I was coming from. This only shows that there are some things that we need to start engaging as farmers as regards water smart techniques. And the first of it that we have to take note of in practical and in practice is mulching. So I will be talking about all these things, but let me just run through them. We have about 5 ways that we'll be talking about water smart techniques. The first one is mulching. The second one is called drip irrigation. The third one is called rainwater harvesting. The fourth one is called smart watering. And the fifth one is called drought tolerant crops. So we can move now. Next slide. So what is mulching? In just simple terms, now let me just say this. So mulching is when you plant your crops and you use so many of all these leaves to cover that particular crop. What this does, I'm sure some of you might have seen mulching tapes, a black tape that they now use now to spread on crops. What it does majorly is to find ways of reducing the water evaporation so that you don't have more that would have evaporated out already. The water that is already in the particular soil can be condensed and be used. That is why it is the first one. And when you see, like most farms now, one of the first things that they invest their money on is on mulch tapes. Because why? It helps reduce the number of water that you use. And most times, if you cannot get mulching tapes, what you can also get is you can get grasses. You use grass and you cover the soil where you are planting so that all the water that you are using to wet will be maintained and not evaporate a whole quick time. That is what they call mulching. These are techniques that we must always imbibe if we want to go into climate smart agriculture. So we must, number one, do one thing, which is mulching. Mulching, you can look for green and dry leaves, put them where you have planted. Let everything just be there. Still planting. Secondly, also, the number two that we will also be engaging is next slide, please. Is drip irrigation. So for the drip irrigation, I know some of you might be saying it is expensive. Yes, sometimes some of these things are quite cheaper when you are looking at the long-term impact. It's quite cheaper when you look at the long-term impact. So if you are looking at water of conserving water, not just you pouring water everywhere, but drip irrigation helps you to save water. It also helps to increase your yield, fewer diseases, and less labor. In the place of drip, if you can see this picture here, you can also do your own manual dripping. Yes, what you know might be all your dripping of buying, or you can use pipes, or you can use drip tapes also. The importance of drip irrigation is that it focuses your water where the water is needed. It focuses your water inside that particular plant itself. It just keeps dropping beside the plants so that you don't waste water. Now, water is scarce. Let me tell you that water is scarce. And so one of the best that you can do is, even if when you'll be using your mulching, is also to now use the drip irrigation. It helps you channel your water to the base of the crop that you are planting. In that way, you are minimizing all your water. And number 3 of this particular technique of water technique is water harvesting, rainwater harvesting. Hey, rain is falling, and you see so many of us just let it just waste away. We are not in the farms. You will get to several farms. For some of us that know Lagos well, there is a part even around that Ojo where we have so many Hausa colleagues there where they farm vegetables. You don't see them having tanks and all the rest. What they have is they have to save up water. If some of us have gone to some guy farms before, when you get there, you see big ponds. What they do is just to save up water. Some of you might have gone to the IITA before, or you see a very big pond. What they do is to save up water. We don't just let water waste. Water is falling and you are there running away. To a farmer, what we should be thinking about is, how much of this water can I save? How much of water can I harvest? Because the time is coming that you'll be looking for water. So how much more of them can you harvest? You can look for small budget farm ones where you look for buckets and start even saving them. Don't think that that bucket is too small. It depends on how farm or how large your farm is. Number 2 is you can look at digging places in your farm where you channel all the water from your farm, and you start digging holes there. Let these waters keep storing there, because a time is coming that you will need them. And most times, we now see people now convert this particular storage of water, and then I use it also for even fish pond. The most important thing is that in everything that we are doing, water must be saved, because rain is scarce. So the little that we see, and we are seeing now from even NIMET and from so many of all these climate agencies telling us that water is getting scarce every day. Several years now, we have been seeing Nigeria join the whole world in going for climate change conferences all over the whole world. It's only because things are changing. And the better we start looking inward, so how can these things now work in my own farm or in my own backyard? So this is what we can do. Number 4 of it. Next slide, please. For the water is smart watering. As much as we always encourage, smart watering practices. Oh, what's the name? Trying to use a watering can. We have also identified that the watering can also takes away. There's a lot of water being wasted, because 60 to 80% of them are being poured on where it is not needed. So they are being wasted away. So as much as watering can is good, also we must find a way of saving up water. So what can we do is that we don't spray on leaves. We start trying to now spray. We now start to spray on the root itself. We know we have so many Gen Z farmers or early farmers that go to wet their farms. Even the tomato that you planted even behind your house, or the crop, you are going to wet your plants 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. in the afternoon, hot afternoon. When the soil is already hot, the water will evaporate immediately. So we don't need to wet our farms in that particular time. When you want to wet your farm, ideally you wet early in the morning, and that's why they always say the farmers go out early in the morning. You wet early in the morning or late in the evening. Why we do that is only for one reason. By the time the sun is out, the amount of water that you use, it evaporates early enough. So you must try to save up all your water. And to save your strength, you go early in the morning and you also go in the evening. 5 to 7 to 8 before the sun starts coming up. Evening around 4, 5, 6, 7, even around 7:30. It depends on how much you have your timing. Water deeply. Not on the leaves, on the roots. Some of us will just wet all the plant and say, I've wet, you have done nothing. And these are climate smart techniques. It's not during those times that we have a lot of rain. Now we don't have, so don't waste it on the leaves. Put it where? In the roots. Number 3 is wet soil. Wet the particular soil. Then the water technique 4 is, yes, please move. Finger test. So when to know, please, next slide, please. When to know when to wet is you must conduct what they call the finger test. So what does finger test do? Say is that you first of all dip your finger in the soil, just about 5 cm into the soil. You check, not the surface, underneath. If the soil is moist, then don't wet yet. There are ways to conserve our water. If the soil is moist remember, just about 5 cm underneath. If the soil is still moist under, don't wet. But if you feel it is dry, then you can wet. These are ways for us to conserve water. So it's not just that I wet in the morning, I wet in the evening. Yes, as much as that is very, very good. Also, you can still do your finger test. Our finger test is just wet, go and just put your hands there, dip under, check it if it's still moist. That is fine. But if it's not moist again, then you can wet. Next one, please. Next slide. So what we have said about before is we have to plant some kind of crops. Yes, we have to work with nature. So many of us, in short, we are so bent on particular crop that we like. But let me just say this, that there are several crops that are drought tolerant naturally on their own. In short, if you plant them when it's raining, when it's not too raining, so far they can find even dew, it makes them grow. So sometimes we always encourage that, okay, by the time you want to plant, first of all, even as incoming farmers or as farmers, why not plant in this particular period that we are drought tolerant crops? An example of them, they are the ones that probably can still do well when there is drought. An example of them is cassava. In short, it can survive up to 6 months without rain. So far there is morning dew, it will still keep growing. So these are crops that probably you can still engage in. In case you are on this particular webinar and you're looking for crops to probably plant now, probably for next year and the rest, you can start looking at these particular crops. Sweet potato. In short, I have planted this one. I still have even in my own garden to our home. We have even a particular one called OFSP, orange flesh sweet potato. Very, very wonderful drought tolerant crop. Sorghum and millets. Yes, you can also plant that too. In short, they are known for exceptional rain, drought resistance. Cowpea, which we know even as our beans. In short, that one also helps again to even enrich our soil. Then also okra. So don't fight with nature. That's the word. Work with it. Please, can you go to the comment section and just type, don't fight with nature, work with it. Now, can someone go to the comment section and let me just see that if we are all following? Don't fight with nature, work with it. Are we there? I cannot see anyone in the comment section yet. So I know, don't fight with nature, work with it. Can I see anyone type it? Oh, thank you very much. So don't fight with nature, work with it. So thank you. Then, so what are the, so let me just say what's the name now? A kind of um um so the kind of summary plan that we can do is number one for that particular aspect is mulch your soil. Mulch your soil. Number two, install drip irrigation. It helps out. Plan for distance. Number three, you have to find ways to harvest your rainwater. Don't let them waste. Even if you have home garden at home, don't let the rainwater waste off. Number four is water smartly. Don't just pour it on the grass, on the leaf, everywhere. On the soil, in the roots, let it be there. And number five is choose drought-tolerant varieties at this particular time. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So number two, we'll be talking now much more even about, please go back. Go back, please. So we'll be talking about how we can build climate resilient foundations. So that talking about the soil and the plant management now. Talking about the soil and the plant management, practical ways now. So let's move now. Let us move. Next slide, please. So by the time we all know what our soil is, let me just say something clearly. Anytime you are trying to plant somewhere and you see a place that it's kind of rocky, like this degraded soil, it is very difficult for you to have harvest there. So, but by the time you get to a place and you see the soil, if you can see all these worms in your soil, please, whatever thing you can do, buy that soil or go and pack it anywhere. There are several times I go to the gutters. Once I see soil weed, it's warm. In short, it is. In short, that one is a very, very wonderful, fast one for me, because those worms are the enrichers of the soil. So for you to know a very healthy soil, first of all, is when you see worm. So if your hand is, I don't want to touch worm, in short, you're already playing with healthy soils already. And some of us, we have all these healthy soil at the back of our houses. We are still looking for wonderful. I'm not trying to go too theoretical. You say which kind of soil? So I'm just trying to put it much more practical here. You need soil that has worms, black soil that has worms. It can be the one at the dump site. Please go and take it immediately. It can be the one that is somewhere. Please just rush there and go and pick it up. These are soils that are very, very good. Next slide, please. So what we need to do in case you even want to generate your own soil technique. So the first thing we need to work on is composting. I don't have a compost yard. It's too, you can do your compost yourself. In short, I'm trying to even see how we can start pushing up even a kind of views or policies where we can have people separate bins now, our waste bins. We waste off so many things that can be beneficial for our soil. I'm complaining again that there is no good soil because we waste food every time, things that can nourish our own soil. So in a simple term, some of us might have been hearing the word composting is just a simple but powerful way to transform organic waste into black gold for your soil. These nutrient-rich amendments improve soil structure, water retention, provides essential nutrients for your plants. If you can do this at home, it is fine. For some of us that we have large farms, you can create a place in your farm and call it your compost yard. What you are doing there is just for you to put compost there, just to keep making compost. So what do you need there? What should go in and what should stay out? First of all, you need your greens and your brown. What are your greens? You need your kitchen scraps, some things that you get out from your scraps, from your kitchen. Pour it there. Don't let it go to Loma or to the waste. In short, if you can go to this waste bin or this large waste bin and go and pack your soil, that's one of the best soils that you can also get. Some of them have been composted already. In short, anything you plant there will grow faster. So what do we need? We need fresh grass. We need manure if you can get them. They'll need your browns. Now you need your dried leaves. So many leaves playing around you. Now you just finished now was cutting down your one plot of land. Why not pack all those leaves somewhere? Put them somewhere to let them not kind of sedence or decompose. You need straw. All this straw that can. You need paper. Anything that can decompose. Please, you need them. Anything that can decompose is good for your composting. Anything that can decompose. Then what should stay out? Please, what should stay out? Meat should stay out. Dairy, milk, and all the rest should stay out. You see, when you were trying to cut all your plants and you now see some kind of diseased plant that you saw, please let them stay out. So you know what should go in now and what should now stay out. Then what are now the kind of processes when you want to now put them in? No, go back, please. Go back. Thank you. So when you want to now put them in, so what should be at the layer is you put your greens. Let those ones be there. Then you now put your browns. Always keep moist at several times. At 2 weeks, you go there. So if you have a bucket that you have as your kind of compost stuff, after you have put all those things there, every 2 weeks you cover, you go back there and stir them. You stir it and just turn it again, just to see that okay, it's still there. You turn it again in every 2 weeks. Your compost is not ready in 2 weeks, so your compost will be ready in the next 2 to 3 months. So that means that for some of us that want to plant to grow rich crops for our May or April, May rainy season time, you want to grow your tomatoes or your peppers or your corn or your whatever thing in that particular period of time, please, what you need to do now is you have to start your composting now, because it doesn't get ready in 1 month, or it is in between the 2 to 3 months, and it has process. Always go there every fortnightly, every 2 weeks to keep stirring. And what's the cost? It's free. Why is it free? Because there are waste that you've gotten from either from your home or from your surrounding. Next slide, please. So next slide, please. So the soil technique 2 is your cover crops. What do we need? So I'm sure by the time you are seeing most of all this one, you'll be saying, what is this? In short, we need to feed our own plants with so many of all this, our soil with so many of all these particular plants. It helps from erosion, it suppresses weeds and organic matter. It helps fix nitrogen and reduce the need for synthetic fertilizer. By the time there is a 2 months or 2 to 3 months break when you are planted, please, can you plant some of all these particular crops? It helps to help regenerate your, because now it's only that because of our large scale farming that we are doing, synthetic fertilizer is not good for our soil. So, but if you want the soil to regain its nature back, then you can plant most of these particular crops. And they are majorly cowpea, legumes, and the rest. Number one that you are seeing there is called mukuna, devil beans. For some of us that are Yorubas that were in the house, I'm sure you know what to call it already. It's called werepe. Hey, some of us might have those werepe or that werepe that we call it then. It's very good to help your soil to fix the nutrition, the nitrogen in your soil. So in case you see a particular gap, now that is not even farming yet, you can go there and plant this particular crop. It will help your soil to regain its nitrogen. Cowpea beans is a very, very good one, which you all know. There are several types that we all know. Lab, that's called Iscent beans or fence bean, even as we even call it. In some places too, well, I would not advise that if Nigerian government is not. In some places too, Cotalaria, which is called Indian hemp. In our side, it's called Kangini. Indian hemp is also good to work with our soil. It helps to improve our soil. Well, I'm not saying you should go and plant like we call it in Yoruba, Igbo. If you go and plant Igbo and they catch you, it's not. But for the soil, it is good. It is good to help fix our soil. Next one, please. Next slide, please. So, so the soil technique 3 is, by the time we are going to plow our soil, in short, it's always a major problem. So many of all these caterpillar guys that we always engage, one of the most important assets that you have in the farm, if you are working in the crop aspect, is your soil. And by the time you now want to farm probably a large place, you now employ a caterpillar man to come and help you plow, or to come and help you remove so many trees away from your soil. And this person just comes without a knowledge of soil management. That's one of the reasons why we are having low yield in agriculture now. So many of us caterpillar guys will just do everyone. They just start packing all our topsoil. If I go to a place and I see a caterpillar guy taking away topsoil, I'm always angry. Are you serious? Topsoil, which is the rich, you want to take my you want to take away the rich part of my soil. So we must discourage heavy plowing. When they just come and pack so many soil away, but you are discouraged, you are already causing low yield even before you start planting. Let there be minimal tillage. Just remove the trees. Work on it in that particular way without so much wahala. Next slide, please. So the climate smart plant management, what do we do is we must understand that there are about 5 things that we must work on. Number 1 is proper spacing. Ensure air circulation reduction. By the time you are planting so many things in your particular crop, your farmland, if you have 1 plot of land, 1 acre of land, 30 acres of land, there must be spacing. And one of the reasons why you must put proper spacing according to what plants require is that because of diseases also, so that it will not start spreading even early enough. Give spacing. Number 2, staking. For some crops that require staking, don't let it just start growing almost everywhere. You don't have money to stake tomato, then you are planting tomato. Please stake well. You can use several ways of staking. Bamboo leaf trees, what's name, sticks. Any way you can get it out. And even you can even, or want to plant cucumber. I don't want to now use staking or trellis. That is not going to work. Timely pruning. These are things that you must always do. Timely pruning. Don't leave, but by the time it is time for you to go and prune, to go and remove all the weeds, don't wait another time again, or else disease-infected weeds would have affected your own crop already. Agriculture is timely. Agriculture is timely. If you cannot do things as at when it is needed, you're already affecting it already. By the time you start treating your plants like human being, or someone can wake up in the morning today and die tomorrow. But sometimes, so many of these things can be prevented. And that is why you must, that these are ways for you to prevent them. Agriculture is not just any kind of, that because what we have now is that everybody that either studied pilots, that either studied engineering, they are now called farmers, which is very, very good. But also, it's not just to just plant and just leave. There are still some technicalities that we must still know too. Timely pruning is there. Crop rotation. You are there planting just rice on a particular crop of land for where it will not work. You must be able to break. Why you have to do your crop rotation is that it helps you break pests. Some pests are dependent on crop. When you plant maize today, the pest that always affects maize is different from the one that will always affect cassava. Also different from the one that will now kind of affect tomato. So they are all kind of different. So by the time you are only planting a particular crop in a particular place every time, what it means is that you are already giving room for the pest that is there buried in the soil to still come back again and revisit that particular crop. It goes down again. So after harvest again, it is still there. You plant that same crop, that same pest again will come. But imagine that you change that particular crop What it means is that by the time that pest wants to come, it sees that I'm not welcome here, it leaves. So that is why you must always do your crop rotation. Intercropping builds resilience. Also, if one crop fails, the others succeed. In short, I was in a place one time. I'm sure so many of you can remember several years ago when there was tomato Ebola. Hi, in our farm then. Oh God. In short, we waited. What happened? What happened? We read all what we could. Because we were in the farm then, we were trying to put so many things that we could even do. So many things that we could do. We tried and tried. We read online. We couldn't, because it was about several years ago before we had that particular disease last. So we didn't even know. That was maybe about 2016, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2016. About, if you can remember, in short, one box of tomato was sold for maybe like 100 naira. It was so scarce. That was because of that particular Ebola then. After after so many things that we have tried, we have to harvest all the tomato plants and destroy them all. In short, very, very painful season of our time. That's why intercropping also is good. In case of such kind of viral stuff, you can still have other plants again to still rely on for your profits, or else that would have just been off. So what are the farming in changing climate? So what are the strategies for resilience? Next slide, please. So what we are trying to do now is that we are trying to see how we could, and from this particular platform of EduFarm, we will be bringing in seasoned speakers in different aspects of agriculture. Agriculture is so wide, and by the grace of God, we are kind of now connected even with so many partners, with several people that we can always talk to, and the rest of them like that. So please, at the comment section now, so I want us to probably just go there in just a minute and type in a topic that you want us to talk about, and let us see how we can get in a very wonderful speaker practically that can speak even to it. Probably maybe you are kind of crop sensitive, or you're kind of type sensitive. Maybe you want aquaculture, or a part of aquaculture that you actually want. Let us see how we can also help you to see how we can build that kind of climate investment. So go to the comment section now, and maybe about profit making or what part thing that you are trying to do. Just type in any topic there that you want us to help bring even to you, and we'll help you get the best speaker that you can get in that particular line. Practically, theoretically, the one that can speak even to even money, it's how much you can make per, is even business plan writing, whatever thing it is. So I'm still waiting for the comment section. You can type in your topics that you want, and let us see how we can help out to make this particular dream. Now, maybe you are trying to build, you are trying to start even a farm next year, 2026. So what kind of topic do you want us to help you get speakers for? And from EduFarm, we will be, from 2026, every week we'll be having sessions to always have one topic to talk about with seasoned farmers all over Africa, not just in Nigeria here, all over Africa, where we can talk about several things, and we can always engage people that are doing so much in the field, not just the online farmers now, but practical farmers that you can ask questions from, and can now give you your rightful answer. So I will still keep writing the next. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So I would just want us, while we are writing that, we can just have a kind of 2-minute break. We have been talking for about 30 minutes, so we can, before we go into the home gardening, smart farming, you can just have a kind of 2-minute break, drink water, and stretch your leg, and let us see while you still keep typing the kind. Okay, I'm seeing them already here. Okay, so farm management. Okay, that is well noted. We will work that out. We will get that done from the Edu farm. Okay, learning good seedlings for farming. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is good. We will see how we could help you get seedlings, good seedlings, which is which is the foundation of even what your crop would be. That's very good. Yes, agribusiness, agricultural marketing, and aquaculture. Yes, because agribusiness itself is the way thing. Now it's not only about you planting, but are you planting right? That thing that you are planting, how profitable will it be? So that is very, very much important. So thank you. That is very, very aquaculture. Yes, there are several things that we can also do in aquaculture. Well, now, just in case you are trying to specify, also you could specify what you really want in aquaculture. Maybe you want marketing of or processing of or the entire value chain of aquaculture. You can look at it a whole lot actually. And 2026, please just sit down while it will help you out to do most of all these things for 2026. So then how to get foreign crops planted in Nigeria. Very wonderful. Very, very wonderful. In short, we were talking with someone one time that was planting apple in Nigeria. Yeah. You know, most times we hardly plant our own apple here in Nigeria. In short, I was discussing with the person and he was saying he's plant his own apple here, and I was like, wow. So how do you do that? So there are several ways we could get our foreign crops planted in Nigeria. We have several of them. You know, we could also get them on board to then also, okay, organic farming. Yes, how that use of biofertilizer and use of biofertilizer in place of synthetic reagents. Yes, in short, I'm a fan, in short, I'm an advocate of organic farming, actually, because of I know deliberately that I know for sure I've been in agriculture and since over 10 years now, and I can say that it's just the soil degradation that we are having now is really because of most times that we go into synthetic and it wasn't fertilizer. It degrades our soil every day. But because most time we want something faster, something that we can always get. But organic, in short, is not always in that particular way. So we can come back to organic farming if we have investors to also invest so much in organic fertilizer as well. We have quite a number of them also out there that we can always get, but also need more investors to go into that particular field also, so that by the time demands and meet the kind of supply, prices will always drop. So by the time we have a lot of suppliers in that particular place too, which will drop down the price. We have a lot of organic fertilizer. We have a lot of them there, but they are kind of expensive for some people, and sometimes we can make our own ourselves, and that is why we always kind of encourage integrated farming, where you could use the waste from your own aquaculture to feed your plants, where you could use the waste from your beds to feed your own fish and the rest. So we have a kind of design aquaculture called integrated farming, where there is kind of zero waste. So those things can also replace or come back to help out in organic farming. So what that can also encourage is that it helps out for community farming. So community farming is where you can also have in a community of maybe about 100 hectares, where you have several of all these things being done there. It helps out too. So you can pick the waste from the soil, from the piggery here, you give it to somewhere else again. So somebody else is doing pig. Well, now you can do that kind of joint farming or community farming that will be fully integrated. That will help out a whole lot. So somebody is there farming, doing crop. Very close by again, somebody is there doing aquaculture. Very close by again, somebody is there again doing something. So by the time you have these particular people again, you can help out in your crop. So last one that I have here, okay, not even last one, okay. I have a palm tree plantation about 20 acres. I've been thinking about to do irrigation and still protect it during weeding. So you have to protect during weeding. 20 acres is a whole lot to just let it just waste away. So by the time, so there are certain ways that you can always do that. That is how I said at first of all, what you can do there would be your drip irrigation. You have to do that very, very well. I don't know how much or how you are probably to a particular sea or a particular river bank or anywhere that is very, very close out to you there. So by the time you look at what surrounds you, you can help out. But like I mentioned also before, you can harvest your rain before that particular timing, and you can always use that particular rain to feed back your own particular plantation. But you cannot let your 20 acres just to go waste because of either pruning, because of weeding, or water. So please, we have to ensure these things are done. Exporting farm produce, yes, in short. But I remember a time that I was involved in a particular farming where we produce potato for harvest. Luckily or unluckily for the person that bought it off for kind of export, he left it in the container for some weeks more than the expected time. By the time they opened the container, all the potato has already rotten. Now we must know all what it takes for export farm produce. You cannot plant with when you are doing export, you must do with the prescription of the country that it is going to. So there are things that you must learn in a particular place. Here, we'll bring it to you. More knowledge about home garden management. Yes, we are going to be talking about even for now, while we also go into the last part in adding value to my farming activities and to reduce losses in my farm produce. Yes. So value addition is very, very key. In short, is one of the best things that we can talk about now. Like, for example, I like planting pepper. This chili pepper. Why is that? Why I like it personally is just because of you can always still preserve. If you don't sell it fresh, you can sell it as dry pepper. If you don't sell as dry pepper, or you can sell as a legume. So there are several things that you can do along the value chain. Once you look at a particular crop, don't jump into the crop immediately. Study the value chain and see how much more you can do just in case something happens at the end. What about like for OFSP now that I plant even a whole lot of them? OFSP now, if you don't sell them as tubers, you can process and sell in flour. They use the flour to make baby food. They use the flour for baking. They use the flour for several other things. So that means that you must look at the value chain. If you plant plantain, you can convert. So there are things that you must look at in that conversion first. Don't just jump into one side first of all and say, I'm into this and just stay there. Study the value chain. By the time you have studied the whole value chain, it helps out to know where you want to fit in properly and not to go into waste. Because there is a part in agriculture that is not always being said. It is the area of harvesting. Hey, so many times you plant, you look for people to harvest, you will not see them. Oh. That is why start from the beginning to the end. You must know the entire value chain before going to plant. And even if you are contracting to somebody else to go and farm, you must have sat down to understand what is the do's and the don'ts. What about if we don't see markets? What about if rain does not fall? What about, like in fish farming now, why I love fish farming again is that you can sell fish at every interval. You don't have to wait for it to 1 kg. That's the kind of value. That's selling even at every one that you want. So you must understand that value chain. So, okay, we'll be coming back to the comment section later. Let us move. So I literally said all that for the break. So let's come back to our smart farming. Let's go back to our smart farming. So home gardening, for some of us that want to go into home gardening, it's very, very ideal. Even sometimes I always advise that if you want to plant 10 hectares of land, Next year, plant 1 hectare. So that you can see all it entails in that 1 hectare before going into 10 hectares. If you want to plant 2 hectares of land, start with 2 plots first. I know you are in a rush to make money, but study it first. Test the waters before you start saying, hey, what happened? You must understand the terrain. In a city, there can be 10 different terrains. It all depends. Maybe in a place even called Abeokuta alone, rain can fall in several areas and not reach a particular area. So you must understand that particular terrain first of all before jumping into the large scale. So, and that's why if you want to plant also on large scale, why not do it first of all on even your home gardening? Can you even try it even beside your house first? Can you even try it? You want to plant pawpaw. Can't you just plant one and see how it goes? Just understand even how the thing moves. Now, so that you will not be as shocked if the farmer is saying, is this one I planted before, I know what it is. Even just one, enough evidence, enough experience for you. So what is the call? Let us just say this clear and clear. Like we said, the reason why food is cheap in Nigeria now is only because the government had to open borders. And that is for only 200 million people. Let me tell you, they will close border again very soon. And that is why, regardless of the insecurity that we have now, which will still be a thing of the past by the grace of God, is that Nigeria's population is even growing. We are among the first 7, if you are not even the 4th or the 5th or the 6th, I can't even remember. Maybe among the 7th largest countries in the world. That means that we keep growing every day. By the time that we keep growing every day, what does that mean? People will eat every day. So that means the best place you can be is agriculture. And the best thing you can do, first of all, try it at home. Can you plant what you want to eat at home first? Let us even sit there. If it grows there, then you can grow it on the field. Next, please. Next slide, please. So why smart farming? So, like I said before, there will always be demand for more things to be done. A lot of things to be done. There will always be demand. Always be demand, because we are growing every day. And Nigeria itself, we are now tending towards feeding ourselves now. Or what the country is doing, what the nation, there are so many things going on, and nothing else stops it. That we are over 200 million people. Can I change your narration, your mindset even for a while? Don't look at the number. It's too big. Can you look at your area and say that imagine you are only feeding your local governments? Okay, maybe that's even too big. Imagine you are feeding only your ward. We look at wanting to compete with the Dangotes, with so many of these big companies, whereas if we can just focus on, even if it's just a ward alone or a local government alone, I tell you, you are into what you are thinking of already. So what do we need to do? Next slide, please. So just in case you want to go into the smart farming, then what you need to do is, first of all, you select your space or your site. So sometimes some of us don't have where to use. No wahala. Select your space or your site. So you decide on how big that thing wants to be. Now do you want your own gardening? Some people's home gardening is not just going to be in plastic. Now you might have your home gardening even on a one plot of land. It's still home garden. It depends on what you want to do there. So select your space and decide in your head on how big you want it to be, how big you want your garden to be. What do you want? Is it just going to be your space? That's your balcony at home. That is fine. Is it going to be your corridors? That is fine. Is it going to be, just decide in your head on how big it wants to be on paper. You start writing it down. Also, if you now want to go into, okay, now you don't have space to plant, you don't have anywhere to do you have containers? Do you have things that can retain soil? If you have them, please keep it somewhere. Start selecting them. Now, these are the gradual steps. Start preparing those containers. What do you need? Now, what we need for the container is anything that can retain soil is good for farming or for even crop farming. Anything that can retain, please, anything that can retain soil is good for farming. Anything that can retain soil, just anything. So even if it's going to be your plastic, it's fine. If it's going to be your bucket, it's fine. If it's going to be your sack, your tire, anything that can retain is good. Select it, plant and sow, then maintain your garden, then just harvest. So let's now move into these stages now. First one. Next one, please. So select your space. No, please don't rush. Go back. Go back, please. Thank you. Select your space. Don't mind my small house. So that one is just for us as we are playing. Now you can see that particular place there. Now if you can see the picture there now, you can see the space that we have. Some of those ones we have cucumber planted there. We have the space that we are trying to look at. The wall is also a space. The wall is a space. You can see wood under there is a space. Sack is a space. Whatever, even this tree that you are seeing is also a space. Select the space that you have. Some of you have a whole plot of land. Is enough space. Some of you have wall that is your house. Is enough space. Whatever thing that you know, that space that you can get, please select them. Start looking at it in your compound now. That space that I am just showing away is also a space for us to use for your gardening. For you that want to do 20 hectares of potato next year, you can do 1 bucket of potato now. See the 3 months as it is and wait. Next slide, please. The next thing after selecting your space is much more practical. Is now what? Why container garden? Now look at why we are using container garden. With this picture that you are seeing now, this is cucumber planted here and just planted inside tires and also sacks. Now you can plant all these things and test it in it, or you want to look at a particular variety of crop. Why you need this container is that it can be any location. You can carry it along with you. Maybe you are even in a landlord's a living house, and you are now a tenant. And landlord says, don't put your crop there again. You can carry it to another place. It's movable. It's movable, so you can move your tomato from a place and take it to another place. It's movable. It's not just going to be just one place that you have in your. No. Why container garden is that it's movable. 2 again is 3 again is low cost and low input. You don't need 100 to go and start looking for what's the name now for caterpillar. You don't need what you need is your sack, your soil, and manure. Put it inside this house, just start. It's low input. It should be successful. I'm sure some of you have seen a whole lot where some people now start planting yam. I've gone for several seminars where I'll teach on how to plant yam inside sacks. People now do that on a daily now. People now plant yam. You can even use it and plant a lot of yam. Plant a lot of crop that you can sell. It's easy to be successful. It depends on your area. And better control of pests, but you are seeing them. You can quickly now kind of attack it. Next slide, please. So selecting the container really matters a whole lot. Please always try to take away your. No, go back, please. Go back. So selecting your container matters. First of all, We are trying to see how we can use recyclable or usable materials. So all your tires, all your sacks, all your stuff again. Please go back. Go back. Yes, thank you. Yeah. No, go back. Just stay on that part of container. Thank you. The container must be large enough to support fully grown plants. Oh God. Second, but the container should be have that kind of adequate drainage system. Fourthly, finally, the container should never have health products that are toxic to plants or people. Then lastly, plastic bottle, tires, sack, wood, plastic eggs, and containers. So which one are you going to use for each of all these crops? So what it means is that by the time you want to plant maybe like a crop like can someone put an example in the comment section? Which crop should I talk about now? Or a vegetable? Okay, let me say like a vegetable like your shoko or your kind or the kind of ewedu or those particular vegetables that you have. In short, any container can fit in. Let me say that even pure water nylon can plant ewedu. That's to tell you how it is. Even pure water nylon can plant ewedu, can plant shoko. That's to tell you how you can also plant. So that means that anything as small as that can plant all those vegetables, but not ugu. Ugu, because of it is going to produce those that have planted ugu before, or those that know ugu. Ugu is that ugu will grow for over 8 months, and it produces a ball. So because of that particular pod that it wants to produce, it needs a lot to be done in the soil. So therefore, you need a very big bucket to plant your ugu. That's the difference in a particular vegetable there, because it produces its own seed inside a ball, compared to your shoko or your ewedu that they produce their seed just on top of the plant. That's why they are all different. Tomatoes, peppers, you can plant them in tire, you can plant them in a big paint bucket, you can plant them in sacks, you can plant them in this particular place. Even cucumber, you can plant them there. Yam, you cannot plant yam in small because it's a tuber crop. So any tuber crop needs a larger space. So most times, even when you want to plant yam, we don't advise you plant yam in cement sacks. You can plant yam in rice bean sacks because it is a tuber crop. So it needs space for it to be able to grow well. So that is it for those particular types of containers. Please, next one, please.
I'm sorry, my phone is hanging.
Okay, thank you very much. So next one, now you can see the examples of them here. Now you can see sacks here. You can see what's the tomato being planted here. This is even a nursery of tomato. So even if you cannot even buy the nursery pan or nursery stuff, I even see a tray. We use tray to even nurse tomato here. You can see tomato, you can see sacks, you can see bucket, you can even see the wall. These are vegetables here. So you can see several things on what you can use. There are things that you can actually use. It's not just okay, I don't know what to use. No, you can use several of all these things. So when you check in through your screen, I can see that thing that you have at home is not wasted. You can still use them. It's not wasted at all. You can use them. Your wall is good enough. In short, if you are the landlord, allow your tenants to even do that. If you are the tenant, beg your landlord to even do it. You can plant anywhere, and you can start eating nutritious foods that you know where it's coming from your house. From your house. So next one, please. So preparing the container, see this tree now, like I mentioned before. So I still have to even hang on this particular tree too. That means that it's also a space. Choosing the right container, yes. Cutting it up. So what do you need to do is that Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me get. So what you need now, for example, if you are using a plastic like this, is that what you need to do is that you just cut off the old top of this old was in the water stuff, and now and you find a way of making drainage in this particular thing, just about 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath, so that water can always go out. Let me say that again. If you want to plant in plastics like this, ensure that you put holes, not so much, but holes under, so that water can always go out. If you plant in sacks, you don't need to put holes. Water will always go out. If you plant in buckets, you need to put hole, because water must always find its way to go out. You know, it's just like your normal way of planting in like a normal way of planting in what's the name of this particular thing? In so when you're not like a normal soil, your one plot of land, your 1 acre of land, that your normal way, at least when you wet, water still finds a way to still keep going. That's the same way. Because now that water is scarce, I will even advise someone that has a plot of land to plant more in sacks to retain more water for yam than even to plant only on the best soil, so that you can retain all your own water well. By the time you want to plant, you must give it in buckets. Find a way to put holes underneath, then put small granite or stones under, so that the water or your soil will not wash off. When you are planting here, you don't need to put stone, because you just be putting small with even a kind of compass or the rest. But if you are putting holes in your bucket, after putting your holes in the bucket, what you need to do next is you put stones, all these pebbles, all these small stones under as the layer. And the reason is that so that it will not wash away all your soil in that particular bucket. Then after that, you can now put in your soil. Then planting, like somebody mentioned before, a good seed equals a good harvest. So if you are looking for a very good one, know where you are buying your seeds from. There are several. Let me just say this now for some of us that want to go into full scale one. We have what they call F1. F1 means your first generation. That is the one that is very expensive to buy in seeds, because that one was first produced and it was produced for planting. So let me just make this analogy so that we can always get it well. The seeds that you buy in the markets, do you know which F it is? Which generation it is? What it means is that so many times people have planted, they remove the seed. So imagine I bought F1 now and I planted tomato, maybe Padma of East-West seeds, and I planted tomato. I now use one tomato again to produce another tomato. That next one is called F2. You get that now? Maybe that one now grows again. I plant it again. I remove another fruit there. Use that one to plant another tomato again. That is called F3. The more it is, the more closer it is to the F1, the more the yield and the better the crop is. So that if you went to buy seed, I know you went to buy seed, but because of you don't know which generation that seed is, safe. The one we buy in the market, it might even be F100 safe, or even F33. Somebody have planted, they've grown, they've planted, and that's the same way these things keep going and going and going that way. Hope you all understand that now about seeds now. So the next part, let's Next one. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so select plants and sow your crops. Decide on either direct sowing or transplanting. Some crops need to be transplanted, some need to just be sown directly. In that picture you are seeing there, I was trying to transplant my tomato seed. So that seedling already there. So you have to transplant some. For tomato, you have to plant in a nursery first, where you can now transplant after about 20 to 25 days. For pepper, you transplant maybe about 1 month, about 30 days or 40, and the rest, it depends on that. So some of your vegetables you can transplant, but you can also just plant directly. Some crops don't need transplanting, you can just plant it directly like that. So why we do transplanting is that not all the crops that you plant will grow. Some of them might grow well, some of them might not grow well. So you plant it well in a place for it to be nurtured, to be taken care of, like your nursery school, where you nurture them well with all its needs, with the best kind of temperature, under a shade, not just openly to the sun. They are still very, very succulent, and so not everywhere. You plant them in a very closer area first, then you can now move on. So the next one, please. Let's move fast. I need 30 minutes for question and answer, so let's move fast, please. Okay, so plants must be placed in direction of light, please. So don't go and grow your crop, your vegetable at home. Not gonna put it in your room, except it is going to be beside the window in direction of light. Yes. Organic manure used, animal waste, find them, plant skins. In short, all your plantain, all all your back of plantain, all your eggshells, they are good manure. We just waste them most, and we have plants. Come on, keep putting them somewhere. Let it decompose well. Eggshell, grind your eggshell, for it is very good one. Then water should be done regularly. Yes. Pests and diseases will be monitored. Yes. Another organic way for chasing out pests and diseases is by the time we use a particular leaf that we all know to treat malaria. You know, while we are growing up, we all drink boom, and for some of us, or we call this concussion. Another language might call it another name. So whatever thing that you use. So neem tree. Neem tree. Please let me see who knows neem tree. Say it in your language. What neem tree in the comment section? Neem tree. Who knows neem tree?
Dongoyaro.
Okay, dongoyaro. Thank you very much. So dongoyaro can be used. So dongoyaro that is used to treat humans is also used to treat plants. That's why I said, if only you can treat your plants the same way you treat a human being, you have good results. So dongoyaro is very, very effective for chasing out pests. And how do you do it? Very, very easy. Plug your dongoyaro tree, your leaves. When you have boiled, you have already plugged it already. Bring it already. Put it inside your pot. Boil for about 20 minutes. Let it boil. So now that's why we can see the green water already there. Once it is boiled, now you have options of either boiling alone like that, or you can also still put ginger. Boil it with ginger, garlic. Boil it with it also. So by the time you are now removing it, let it cool. After boiling for about 20 minutes, bring it out of water, sieve it, remove all the leaves and throw away. That water that you have from your neem, from your dongoyaro, is what you now use to wet, to now spray as your pesticide. That's your organic pesticide. You want to go fully organic, but then you must also go the organic way too. So you can use that to chase away or to treat pests and diseases from your own crops too. Sometimes it might need it to be sticky. So what do we need to do? Even most times, we can now add oil. Why we add oil is that so that it can be sticky to the plant's leaves. But in case you don't need that, if you want to use it tomorrow morning, please boil it this evening. Let it cool. Then use it tomorrow morning. So these are ways that we can always, and I'm sure that we have dogoyaro almost everywhere that just waste off there. So we can always use that to treat our disease and pest. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So harvest, like I said before, and I saw someone also not comment here that harvest is also, if you are doing crop, yes, home gardening, harvest might not be a challenge for you. By the time you are going full scale, hey, harvest is always a challenge. But in your home gardening, harvest is a period of growth. Let's just give an example of when we can that kind of harvest. Your shoko, tete, ewedu, you can harvest in just about 3 to 1 month. Tomato is after 3 months. Pepper is after 3 months. Cucumber that you can do at home is about 45 days to 60 days. So it depends on what you are planting even at home. You can also, in short, you can do a lot of all these things even at home. And in less than ugu, you can start harvesting ugu in 1 month and it stays for another 8 months. So these are the periods of farming there, of harvest. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So this is just the last part. So what do we need? So let's come. We have left this home garden. Now this is now for general, for long-term strategies for success. What do we need to plan in the long term to have success? Whatever thing that we are doing, they say whoever fails to plan plans to fail. So what we need is just put in 4 things. As a climate resilient farmer, you need 4 components for success. 4 components of success for you to bounce back. Just 4. Next slide. One is diversification. Next slide, please. Is diversification. We must diversify. We must diversify. Don't just be bent on a particular crop. Sometimes some things can happen. I know you love tomato so much, but in the but is that in your learning process, can you also add cassava? Can you also add yam somewhere else? And the reason is that so that you can build shock in case anything happens. In case anything happens, you can fall back to something else. The reason why so many of us cry in agriculture is that we only put all our eggs in one basket while we are still trying out. Number 2 strategy is information. Information. Time. You must start knowing when rain falls. You must know market prices before going to plant your crop, so you can forecasting. Will it be okay for me? Will it be profitable? Yes, I know I have space. It's not only for me to just harvest. Is it profitable for me? What's the market price now? Pest and disease even alerts. You must always listen to news, and that is why we have been able to create a platform, a social media on its own that is only for agriculture. You know, now if you go to Facebook and you post something there, before you know, you are already seeing Sabinus. Before you know, you are seeing Pastor Chris. Before you know, you are seeing football. Before you know, so many things are taking your time that even those that want to come and answer your question are still busy watching football online. We had to create a whole social media on its own that works just like your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all these social media platforms, just the same way, but it's only for food system, for everybody in food system in Africa. So that by the time you have urgent needs, you want to buy and sell, you want to do anything, you can just go to that particular, everybody that is on that particular platform is only concerned. So by the time there is a disease alert, it will be shared there. You can always see it there. Which plants can we grow now? It is there. What is the rainy season now? It is there. You can always get all your information on that particular platform. I'll be sharing the link of that particular platform now for us to probably those that which is encouraging for to go and register, because it's going to be the next thing in the whole of Africa now for. So I just shared it now. So what's the next one? Number 3 is season extension. Sometimes we need shade nets. This might not be too expensive. We must be able to even know some of all these things under shade nets. If you cannot do shade net, or you are too big for, you are too small, you are too big for shade nets, if you have capacity, please plan for greenhouse. They help you extend your season. That means that you can grow all year round. So now instead of you farming just for 2 seasons, you can farm for 3 or 4 if you have all these things. I said before, mulching. Hey, you cannot underestimate the power of mulching. Mulching is very, very good. So it helps you extend, it helps you preserve what you want to do. And number 4 is the last one, dry season crops. I said it before. There are certain crops that you can grow in dry season, so you must calculate well. Please go back. You must calculate well. Some crops that can do well in dry season, you can jump on crops like onions, carrots, cabbage. They thrive in conditions that are not favorable for even other crops, so you can work on that particular one too. And don't be deceived. It's not only in the northern part of the country that it works. It works everywhere. So next slide, please. So we can end it now very, very soon. Community approach, shared resources. There are so many resources going out there. So many resources going out there. We need to get them. Knowledge sharing. You know, I know. Join groups. There are several groups on FarmBridge. You can create your own group too. Farmers from here, farmers from there. Let us join groups. Let us learn from each other. If only we knew that time that there was tomato Ebola, we will not spend money that we spent to try to revamp the. At the end of the day, we harvested and trashed all our tomato on several acres of land. Then bulk buying is always better. Bulk selling, very perfect. Now these are ways for the community. So in case somebody wants to buy a seed now, and it's too expensive for us to go and buy just one seed, why not you buy as a kind of community? Okay, let us buy 3 and share transport. Bulk buying, bulk selling, access to finance, very key, and stronger voice. The more we keep making noise about a particular thing, then the more that thing will always come to be. Next slide, please. Sorry for taking our time. I'm just trying to condense a whole lecture into just one. I've been able to say this already before. So what is your climate smart action plan? Now you must, after every lecture, you must be able to have kind of action plan. Now the one is we have smart, water smart, we have small soil smart, we have resilience. We have talked about all of this already today now. You can look at them. Which one are you going to look at? The ones that you do in this particular month. Is it water smart? You start mulching, you check your water, you check how you want to harvest your own rain, consider drip irrigation. Check which one are you going to be doing. Your own soil smart, your composting, your plant cover crops, your minimum tillage. So look at all these things, all the resilience. So how you diversify your crops. Subscribe to weather forecast. You explore season extension and the rest like that. Then so that's are the 3 ways that you have to look at. Like I said, pick 3 to 5 actions to start. If you are farming, or if you have even a crop or a home garden, pick 3 or 5. So let me see in the comment section which one you'll be doing now. Maybe you want to diversify your crops. You want to test on the greenhouse. You want to start composting. Just pick 3 or 5 actions. Let us see which one that you want to work on. Just 3 or 5. Let's see the one you want to work on. Okay. While I wait for it in the comment section with the question and answer, please, next slide, please. Oh, thank you. So next slide. Next slide, please. So your top 3 actions. So have you been able to identify those your top 3 actions already? So identify those things that you want to do. Then let me just tell you in what you call action plan is starting. So choose one action item to begin implementing immediately, no matter how small. So don't wait. You can diversify. You can start from your home garden. So that's why I have to teach about home garden in between. So you can put that one as your action too to start this week. Which one would you start this week? Is it about even getting all your sacks or start something this week? It must be an action plan for you. You can't just be learning and be looking for, you must start it. Start it now. Let us learn by your mistakes. Start now. Don't just read it on papers or I want to. Start now. Is it about even your pest, your money, your whatever thing that you want to do? Start. Then share your story. That's accountability. So you can share your stories on the link on FarmBridge. You can share it on FarmBridge. Let us see it. Let us like it. Let us see that you are growing. So, like I asked before, which 3 actions are you committing? I'm asking again. Which 3 actions are you committing to? So I don't want you to just leave this webinar without having something that you want to start. Start from, even if it is small. Start. So next slide, please. Next slide. So this is just the key takeaways. Next slide. So our key takeaways for building climate resilience and for everything is, number 1, let me just summarize by saying climate change is real. The rains are getting fewer every year. So we can. Number 2, you water smart. Mulch, drip, harvest time, eat right. Do it right. Do it right. And number 3, feed your soil. Your soil is the most important thing that you have. Feed your soil. Also, diversify everything. Your crops, your income, and your seasons. So, whatever thing you are planting, diversify. Number 2, stay informed. I'm just trying to give you a wrap up now. Stay informed. Know what is happening with weather. Don't be only about Facebook. You're only there to know what happens about weather. So that's why I encourage you again. All these things will be dropped most times on FarmBridge, where you can always learn all these things. Go to farmbridge.farmall.ng and register and start getting most of all these things. Markets, best practices. Number 3 is build resilience season by season by season. What's happening in this season? Stick with it. What's happening next season? Stick with it. And number 4, find your tribe. Don't let's be deceived. Some of us are already in agricultural tribe. We are in the food systems tribe. We are all families now. Join one or form one. If you can form, if you can create, that's why the farm bridge will be the next thing, just like your Facebook. Only for food system. Go there, join, and form a cooperative. Oh, thank you for your action points there, Mr. Jabrin. Okay, so next slide. So we can wrap it up. So we go to the part before we where we now call it open for questions and answers. So we can take a kind of break, and we now ask questions before we close the meeting for 8 p.m. So it's open for questions. So any questions from the house? Anything? In short, let me even see the emojis now. Has it been impactful? Has it been great? Oh, thank you. Has it been great? Have you learned something? Can you use the comment section, or you want to? We should or should we? Any hands on? Any hands on? Any hands on? Any questions? Okay. Okay, please, you can go on, please. Mr. Dada, or mute your mic. Okay.
Thank you for the invitation.
So we can't hear you. Please, can you speak louder, please?
Thank you for the invitation, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
I think you can still increase the volume.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Okay, let us see if we can try. Please move on.
All right, sir. Yes, you speak about planting of drought-resistant crops. Where you
Okay.
mentioned some types of crops like millet and so on and so forth. But if we are to look at it in Nigeria, what we consume most are the arable crops that are perishable, crops that they don't have longer lifespan. If you are looking at vegetables, we are looking at other crops like that. What are the ways that we can venture into or look into to control climate in order not to affect these crops also? Because we can't decide to focus on cowpea, sorghum, millet alone. We also have things like rice, we have maize, we have vegetables, we have different crops that are still there. So that's just my question. What way can we focus on to also
Okay.
control climate over those crops?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dada, for that question. Okay, so now, like I said before, one thing that is certain is that climate change is real. That is certain. So far, climate change is real. Now, what it means is that Can you hear me now? I've been talking since. Can you hear me now? Please, can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes,
thank
we
you.
can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear
Thank
you.
you.
I
Thank
can
you.
hear
So,
you now, sir.
okay, so what I said before was that climate change is real. It's very, very real. In short, there have been several conferences and all the rest, and the only thing we can do is we have to work with it. But while working with it, is that Mr. Am I the only one? Now, can you still hear now, Mr. Jibrin? Everyone can hear now. Can you hear
Yes,
now?
yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe
That's
it's
fine.
time.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So, number one that we can do is that, when we, like in mechanical engineering, what they do most times is when they want to teach you about a machine, what they teach first is the stop button, not the start button. And is that in case you mistakenly go and start, or somebody go and start, you must know where to stop. And that's why even those that teach how to drive car, they tell you this is brake, first of all. In case you go and do mistake, you must. And now I try to mention the drought-resistant crops. Those ones, your cassava, your cassava, your potato, they can withstand drought to a level, but does not mean that we have to always plant all these things. If you want to work with the climate, what you have to do is what I mentioned before. If you are planting, ensure that you factor in mulching into your plant. Either you buy the mulching tapes, black tapes, just like leather, or you use grasses to mulch. Number two is that you must do irrigation. It's a must. It's a must, because you cannot determine what happens. This year, some people that went into maize farming, if there are anybody here, so many of them cried a whole lot because of rain. So because over the years, we have always enjoyed rain fed, which is still there. So that is why I said before that you must also understand weather, know what is happening in your terrain, plant according to that particular timing. We are not discouraging everybody from planting other crops. We are only saying that for us to work smart is that there are some certain steps that you must do. And these are things that we have mentioned earlier. Now, is that understood, Mr. Dada?
Yes, sir, I
Is that
I get that
okay?
now.
Okay. So, Emole Ayosho, please, can you unmute, please?
Yes. Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. I really
Okay,
appreciate
sir.
this session.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
And I want to make my contribution in this respect. We appreciate the way we have had this
Okay.
session today, but I feel a way that we to help every one of us to grow is if we can group ourselves into maybe a growth level or a class level, to the extent of which we are understanding the forms of farming or the extent to which people intend to venture. So it will not be very more coordinated in ways to assist people with kind of information they need. If people are still doing gardening, they will be in a particular grade, or those that are just venturing into it for the first time, they'll be in a particular grade, so that when the nurturing or the sessions of grooming is done, it would be able to be more specific to those that needs it part time. Or where in case there's a group formed for those kind of people, then they'll be able to know where to reach out to, or the group they'll need to belong. So I don't know if it's reasonable that way. I just had that as a suggestion to add.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for that. In short, thanks for the kind of insight. So what we plan with EduFarm actually is to be the go-to place for anything food system when it comes to about education, just about practical farming and all the rest. So we we had to come up with the same way that we all go to our Coursera's, the same way we will go to our Allisons, our own kind of EDXs and the rest like that, just for courses and the rest. So that's the same way we are planning on for this particular EduFarm. And saying that means that coming from for the next on the 30th, now we'll be having another webinar, which will be about post-harvest losses. So we'll be having several seminars and even almost every week, just for us to put people in check. Not forgetting the fact that we also have another platform, a community. That was where I had to put the link somewhere in the comment section there, where everybody can form a group and all the rest like that. We want to grow a full community itself where everyone is carried along. So in that particular community, you can be in the tomato growing, you can, and let me just advise anyone here now, the same way Facebook now start paying, or X or Instagram or YouTube start paying all these content creators, it's the same way we want to have a place for farmers, that they can also be paid in the same social media platform. So we are trying to grow a platform where everyone that is there is growing together. You can at a particular instance, you can go to a particular website now or a particular page now and grow and create your group, and you have people there. Even when you go there, when you click on a particular site now, you see several of all these places there where you can also join, and we can now start engaging ourselves through that particular platform. We'll be having several webinars on several topics come January, February, and the rest like that, so that everyone can keep checking mates. Then we have a forum also on the platform where you are just kind of asking now, a forum where everyone, you can start a forum by yourself. We have already forums there where you can join. Just the same way those are no Naira land is. We are trying to see how we can bring everything to our doorstep, so that we can bring the learning practical, not those that they are doing well in agriculture. Let us bring them all in a particular place where we can all grow ourselves well together. So even if we are doing tomato farming in Jos, you can bring it in a particular platform, even as a forum or as a community there. So we will be working closely on several topics, and you can sign up to EduFarm, where you can also see several courses coming from next year already. We've already taken our old stuff also to start having full-time courses too, where you want to go into 3 weeks, 4 weeks courses that will be much more practical farmers on the farm, where they will be sharing video, not YouTube videos, but live videos of their farm. You'll be able to interact, ask questions with those that have hundreds of hectares, those that do fish in several capacity, those that have several beds. Now you can ask diseases, you can ask how they, before you try to enter the particular field, because we know knowledge is power. So we are only trying to use the platform to see how we can make it work. But you could go to the platform there on FarmBridge. There, when you go there, sign up and register. Then you can start what you want to do, and just for our own place. And also, please don't forget also EduFarm. You can also register on EduFarm to also get much more info as regards the next steps for us to grow ourselves well. Now, please, is that answered, sir, Mr. Osho?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Ode, please, you can turn off your mic now. Oh, it's past it already. Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, sir. From the presentations and then from this teaching, I've learned a lot, and it has boosted my reasoning in a wider range. But all I just want to say, I should say it should be more of a suggestion. This webinar, maybe the recorded post, if we can have them probably in a specific place, so that because you tend to see that you've addressed a lot of issues here, and tomorrow, like you said on the 30th, there will be another post-harvest losses now, you tend to see that someone will be interested or may bring some questions which you have already addressed today. Now, having access to that past or the recorded webinar that might be on a section on your page will go a long way, so that one can start assessing maybe day one webinar, day two webinar, just continuously like that, and then he will catch up or he will come on speed, and then it becomes easier than probably you might be in the lecture like post losses, and it's referring to something that you've done, so that it will not take us let's say out of the context of what you've prepared. Thank you, and over.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So we would be, yes, thank you very much for that wonderful recurrent section coming from next year. We'll be having a whole lot, because we know that this month, festive time might not be a good time for us to keep on webinars. So, but we have to do it now, then also on the 30th. But for the recordings of this, we would be getting it in FarmBridge. So we post it in FarmBridge. For some of us that are here, please go to FarmBridge and go and register and post on the FarmBridge there. Now you'll be seeing it there. It's clearly there. That's for some of us that are here now. So you can just FarmBridge and register. We will be posting there. How we are posting is that we want to grow that community well. Just for us that are wanting to be in agriculture, some of us have suffered a whole lot because of lack of information. So I remember one year that I planted, I had to, in short, I lost millions of naira because I didn't know what was going on even at all in the all my, in short, all the crops that I planted just dried up. Everywhere just went up. So this is why, in short, those things that we bring into my head that we must have a full community, not just a WhatsApp group. Because I'm in several WhatsApp groups now. When somebody wants to buy something on A, please, who has something to buy? If you go and check Z, that person needs it too. Because of it, that cannot take all of us. Our Facebook is too overcrowded. Billions of people in a particular place who wants to hear you out. So these things that we have said now will be posted on FarmBridge. So FarmBridge is FarmBridge. So let me post it again, or you can see the old. Okay, let me pin it so you can see it there. So you have to click on the link. It takes you to FarmBridge, and you can register. And when you register, we will be sharing all these webinars. It will all be posted there. Everything will be posted there, even as we keep going. As we keep growing every week, everything will be posted there every week. Like we said, from these particular topics that we have already here now, we will be picking from them, and we will now start with them come from next year. So please just expect to be checking EduFarm at certain times. We will also post again for the section on EduFarm. So you can go back to the EduFarm page and check it after this particular webinar has ended. So we will also be posting it there for those that really want to still go back again to it. So you have two sources of where you'll be getting them. You have on FarmBridge, and you have on EduFarm. Thank you very much. Any other questions? I promised 8 o'clock, but it's already 8 minutes past 8. Another question? Okay. In the absence of no question, please can you just go to the comment section and just tell us what you have learned today? Just one thing that you have learned, so that at least we know that we have not wasted your 2 hours. You have been able to so you can next slide, so that you can see the contact in case somebody wants to. Please go back to the last slide. Ms. Rita, please go back to the last slide. So you can see the contacts. Okay. So in case you want to reach out, in case you want to reach out. So please let me just see what you have learned today. Please, can we get anybody in case you want to reach out? So even if you check, so go back first. Just back. So like I said in the just one step back. Just one step. Yeah. So you can, yes, that's that one. So like I said, you'll be receiving the webinar. Then just stay connected with us. Just stay connected with us. Join us on everywhere. We want to grow that our own. And let me just advise all of us here. I say it even jokingly. The same way, let me say it again. FarmBridge will be the cash stuff also for agriculture in the future. So the same way we have people that are earning their living just on posting on social media, and farmers will also be on FarmBridge. Let me just say that so that I can say that I said it one year like that. So please, you can stay connected with us. Next slide is where we will just want to tell you that upcoming. Next slide, please. Next slide. So next slide we'll be having, we'll be having our tomato farming mastery from January next year. But for December, now we'll be having the post-harvest loss reduction. We want to have a full 3 weeks farming master class on tomato farming next year. It's going to be, in short, one of the best you can go to, because we'll be bringing in people that are not people that are theoretical, not doctors that are theoretical, no, people that are farming it large scale in Nigeria and beyond. And so we'll be having it in all those particular agricultural produces, all through like the master classes, where you would have to, if you want to go into it, you have to select the one you want to do. Not saying you want to do everything, no. You have to select the one you want to do, and you learn before the farming season so that you know what you want to do. And also, if you want to go into livestock, we'll be having a lot of master classes from next year. So please let EduFarm be bookmarked like in your web page, so you can always get information on what we are doing next. So thank you very much. So let me hear from people. What have you learned? Okay, Mr. O'Day. Thanks a lot. I've learned a lot, especially in the application of programs. Yes, food security and livelihood development. Yes, thank you very much, sir. I'm also in developmental work. I consult for and for other INGOs too. I also have expertise in that particular field too. I was also an agricultural officer for Elenkela. I also still consult also for a lot of INGOs as regards this particular space. So I just don't want to. So we are also here in a particular place, and I'm also a farmer. I also studied agricultural economics and extension. So I'm not just in the space of I studied it to practice it and to now share the knowledge now, even to people too. We also have NGOs where we go to schools to teach children and to start school farms, just to impact the particular knowledge that we have done. So we have a whole lot to share together going forward. Thank you very much. I really thank you, Mr. Jibrin. I learned a lot, especially my yes, please let us see your small home farming. Please go to FarmBridge and post it. So let us see your home farming. Please go to FarmBridge, and let us see, and go and post your home farming there. Let's all start posting our home farming. Let us see what we can do all together. Farming is something that is not one person. Like I always tell people, even as much as I've been into this field for over 10 years of my life, and in short, way over 10 years of my life, that's even about, and I also even I'm almost going to 15 years now. In short, is like I always say that it's not just even about what we know. Before my grandparents were born, farming had been in existence. What we just need to do together is work with what is on ground and see how best we can do it. I've been into consultations, into talks where we talk about GMOs. Now, maybe next time we'll have a topic on GMOs. We'll bring the federal character even into it. Let's see what they can talk about. So many things that we can talk about all together. So please, we'll be ending the session now. Please don't forget, you can reach out. Okay, you can reach out, go to FarmBridge and see us there. And also you can reach out on EduFarm. And also in case you want to reach out personally, thank you. Let me drop, you can also reach out. Farming is not just for one person, it's a community approach. Thank you very much. And I think we are good to go. Oh, Mr. Oshot, I've learned about managing water management in farms, how to manage. Yes, please. You have to manage. Like I said, let me iterate again. If you are planning to start 10 hectares next year, in this space before next year, start that thing you want to grow. That is 3 months. Start it one. Do it small first. Learn on it. In that way, you can tell your farm managers, you can tell your farm consultants, you can tell them that you know what you are saying because you have seen them grow. Farming is not just for recreation again, it's a business, and that's why there's a whole concept of agri-business now in circulation. So it's not just I just want to know, it must be profitable. And even if you want to do it in your home, you must do it well. So thank you very much once again. Thank you for joining this webinar. It's been a very welcoming 2 hours. Please don't forget to join us again. Just go to the website on the 30th, 6 p.m. For the next webinar. That will be on post-harvest losses. In case you want to know, because harvest, those that are into agriculture know that harvest is in short, you must know the end before even the beginning itself. Because harvest is if you have 10 hectares of land and you plant only pepper, in the time of harvest, you look for a whole community you might not see. You beg people you might not see. So let us talk about post-harvest losses and what we can do with them. Thank you once again. I remain Samuel Akinyode. You're welcome. So Rita, I think I'm done. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel Akinyode. I'm very, very sure a lot of us here, we really learned a lot this evening. Thank you so much. So guys, don't forget, we have another webinar on the 30th of this month. And please make sure you register on FarmBridge and you also register on EduFarm to get courses, that will give you more enlightenment. Right? So thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Bye.